Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to have some Division 20 ranked online gameplay using George St. Pierre, and I wanted to make this video of GSP because I feel that a lot of people that I'm coming up against online, no matter what division, whether they're Division 20, Division 14, 12, 11, they're not using GSP correctly and it ends up losing them a lot of fights. And GSP is a fighter I don't use often, but when I do use him, if I use the correct game plan, 90% of the time it will go my way. As long as I stick to the game plan that you need to implement with GSP and you fight the correct style of fight, often or not you'll end up overwhelming your opponent and end up winning, which is what I'm going to try to showcase in this gameplay here. So quickly, I'm just going to take a look at some of his stats here, just show it on the screen, and I'm going to read to you the standout stats throughout the gameplay, and I'm going to tell you my tactic with him. So straight away I'm going to talk about his chin health, which is 90, and he has 87 recovery. And although in theory that's relatively decent stats, one thing you need to consider is that he's fighting at welterweight and also middleweight, and the higher weight classes you go, the more power you're coming up against, the less shots you can actually take. And GSP's head movement, I believe, is 88, so he can get hit with strikes, and all it takes is one stun and you're instantly going to feel it. After that, it's just stun after stun after stun. So what you want to do is you want to avoid any sort of punching exchanges. You want to keep them mainly at kicking distance, and you're going to want to work your takedowns. And GSP is a wrestler, and that's what you want to do. You want to look to dominate. I know he has very good striking stats, but that's a tool you can use if you have to. But you want to win the fight, you have to stick to what he's good at, which is wrestling. And now I'm going to read some more stats out. So he's got 98 takedowns, 98 top control, 97 ground striking, 92 bottom control, 93 submissions, and I think he has 97 submission defense. And all these stats are just amazing. And he's also got a perk which ties this all together. He's got workhorse, so you actually lose less stamina when grappling on the ground. And so if you're doing a lot of transitions on the ground and you're faking and moving to half guard, full guard, posturing up, whatever you're doing, the amount of work you're doing on the ground, you're actually losing less stamina. And his ground stats are absolutely phenomenal, and that's what I'm going to showcase here. And as you can see, obviously the fight always starts off on the feet. I'm exchanging here with a Division 16 Tony Ferguson, and right now I'm feeling comfortable. The exchanges are going my way. As you can see, I'm using the kicks. GSP's got beautiful kicks, and although I've been preaching that you need to take the fight to the ground, you don't just want to shoot carelessly and go for a random takedown. You need to work in your takedowns because you don't want to get caught with an uppercut or a knee, because that's going to ruin your fight. With GSP, you cannot afford to get rocked more than twice. If you get rocked more than twice, you're in an awful position and you've pretty much lost the fight, if I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been in a fight where I've rocked GSP more than twice and lost. And so here I've got Tony Ferguson on top of me, and Tony Ferguson has elite submissions and is amazing on the ground, whether that's off his back or up top. So as you can see, we get my opponent into my full guard here. I'm remaining relatively calm. I'm just looking to deny one transition and I'm going to shoot for a submission straight away. And Tony Ferguson has very good submission defense, but with how good GSP's submissions are, I believe that it's enough to get the job done. And as you can see, even though I'm on my back, I'm very calm. We deny that transition. He has no stamina. Shoot for the armbar, and it's the beginning of the end for my opponent here. And as you can see, it's only the first round. We've both got good stamina overall, although my opponent has none right now. And if you look at mine, my stamina is in a very good position. And GSP is not to be played with. Even off his back, he can do so much. And when he's on top of you, it's even worse. He's so dominant on top, and you can finish the fight via ground strikes or submissions. I personally like to use submissions, but you can easily do it through posturing up and laying down some significant strikes, because his ground and pound is amazing. And going into the next clip here, as you can see, we're facing another Division 16 opponent who's been in Division 20 the season prior, and he's a kickboxer. So as soon as I saw kickboxer, I know he's going to have all these movesets, and I don't like fighting created fighters because they just have these strikes that lead to with GSP, you can't get caught. And you can see I tried to show respect there. He didn't want anything to do with it. Shoot for a takedown straight away. And what I done is I shot the takedown in the center of the octagon, so my opponent can't use the cage to get up. And as you can see, posture up here, get to half guard. I'm just going to look to dominate my opponent here. As you can see, this is where his top control stats are coming into play, and we're just dominating. We're denying the transitions that we need to, throwing small punches to build up the small increments of damage. And again, I'm just looking to control on top of my opponent. And whether you're on top or on the bottom, you can do that with GSP. I mean, he's really fun to use if you're going to grapple, but I cannot state anymore, you have to grapple with GSP. You cannot be going into boxing exchanges. At the most, you can go into kickboxing exchanges, and if you're finding it hard to get your opponent to the ground, what you need to do is you need to push them against the fence, and you need to work it. But once you get them onto the ground, he's got the Kimura here, and this is my favourite submission because you can chain it into an armbar. And again, my opponent, he's not going to be able to get out of this just because how dominant GSP stats are. And we're going to get another submission victory against another high level opponent. So this video is just me showing you how to use GSP effectively online. You're going to want to implement a grapple heavy game plan. You can stand if you have to, if you're forced to, but you need to work in those takedowns. And I'm going to be using a lot more grapplers in the next couple of videos to show how you can grapple effectively. I believe I'm going to have a Ben Askren video coming out and potentially a Johnny Hendricks video coming, just to showcase to you guys how to grapple effectively in the top division, which is Division 20. I'm going to be fighting top 100 players, and I'm going to show you how to dominate those fights. So that's how you use GSP. I hope you guys learned something from this. As you can see, I'm showing the fight stats here, and we just completely dominated my opponent for the whole length of the fight. So that's the end of the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.